Mathematicians, today you're going to learn how to find the solution to a system of two equations in the form of y equals mx plus b by graphing. After you find the solution, you're going to check to make sure the solution works. In order to find the solution of a system of two equations, we need to remember two big algebra concepts. First, let's recall how to solve one equation. So let's consider 2x plus 4 equals 12. To solve for x, we need to use inverse operations. The first thing we'll do is get rid of the plus 4 by doing the inverse operation of minus 4 to both sides. Then we'll look at 2x, which is the same as 2 times x. The inverse of multiplication is division. So we'll divide by 2, and we'll get our answer at x equals 4. After we solve it, we are going to graph it on the number line and put a closed dot at x equals 4. The next concept we need to remember is how to graph a linear equation. To graph a linear equation, we need two things. We need m, which is the slope, and b, which is the y-intercept. In this case, m is 2. But remember, we typically write slope as a fraction because slope is rise over run. Now, let's consider b, our y-intercept. What do you think b is? If you said -6, you are correct. Remember, we need to keep the sign in front of the number. To graph this, we're going to start by going down on the y-axis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to put a point at y-intercept of -6. Now we're going to use our slope to go up 2, which is a rise of 2, and over 1. Up 2, rise of 2, and over run. We should get a line that looks like this. Before we solve our system of equations, let's look at the difference between solving one equation with one variable in one dimension and solving two equations, which is our system, two variables in two dimensions. In our one variable equation, 2x plus 4 equals 12, the solution is x equals 4. In our two variable system of equations, our solution goes from x to xy. This should look familiar. It's a coordinate pair. When we graph in one dimension with one variable, we graph on a number line. When we graph in two variables with two dimensions in our system, we graph on an xy coordinate plane. In addition, when we solve for one equation, we check it, and we're going to do the same thing in our system. Now we are ready to solve our system of equations. So let's solve y equals 2x minus 6 and y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Remember, our solution should look like an xy coordinate pair. If we're solving the system by graphing, we need to graph both equations. We already graphed y equals 2x minus 6, so let's just put that on the coordinate plane. Now let's graph y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Again, we need m, which is our slope, in this case is 1/2, and b, which is our y-intercept, which in this case is 4. We're going to do the same thing where we go up the y-axis 1, 2, 3, 4, and put our first dot, and then we're going to go down 1 and over 2 to get our other points. And you should get a line that looks like this. So, in order to find the solution to this system, we need to find a point that fits both equations. So looking at this graph, what point fits both equations? If you said the intersection, you are correct. And in this case, the solution, the point of intersection, is 4, 2. But we're not done, because just like with one equation, we need to check our work. So let's plug in 4, 2 to our system. 4 is x, and 2 is y. If we plug it into the first equation, we get 2 equals 8 minus 6, which 2 equals 2. So this is correct. Fits the first one. If we plug it into the second equation, again x is 4, y is 2, we boil it down and we get 2 equals 2, which is also correct. It fits the second equation. So now you have learned how to solve a system of two equations by graphing.